Welcome back to Sunrise, and we're coming to you live from the Sandton Convention Centre for the 7th annual Proudly South African Buy Local Summit and Expo. It's all about creating jobs. And as we continue our conversation this morning, we're joined right now by Mr. Willie Chavalala, who is from Standard Bank. He's the head of business and retail banking at Standard Bank South Africa. Good morning to you, Stan. Thanks very much for joining us this morning.
Morning, Penny, to you and your viewers.
Great stuff. Now, Standard Bank is the first-time sponsor this year for the Proudly South African Buy Local Summit. Why did you get into this relationship?
We are a South African bank, and for us, it's critical that we show our support, by being part of, Proudly South African, Summit. Of course, we are also indicating, to the small and medium enterprises, that are here to say, as Standard Bank, we are out here, we want to support them, want to ensure that they grow, because we know when they grow as SMEs, our economy grows, and we're going to reduce the unemployment rate, which is currently, on the higher level.
Now, in terms of services or working closely with enterprise development programs or small SMMEs as well, what have you got to offer them as Standard Bank?
So we look at a three-tiered approach in terms of, because we know enterprise development, you have the financial and the non-financial, and so we do offer the SMMEs the non-financial support in terms of how to get their business, how to get access to markets and stuff like that. Of course, on the financial side, we do provide tailor-made solution to ensure that we don't put pressure on them as young entrepreneurs. So we do offer them discounted pricing, and equally so, if we then look, the other aspect is around access to market, because you can do everything, but if they don't have the market to market their product and sell it into, they don't have a business. So we are saying we are also a corporate that does support SMMEs that are dealing with us on a daily basis to ensure that we don't just play lip service we encourage our local leaders to support our clients that are locally based as well. So for us, it's important that we look at it holistically.
Now, talking about looking at things holistically, one of the big questions around the summit is how local big companies can procure from SMMEs, and a quick turnaround. Obviously, that gives them an opportunity to access different markets. When it comes to issues of procurement as Standard Bank, how do you deal with that?
As I've indicated, we have devolved the mandate, to empower our local teams to ensure that they can buy locally, supporting our local businesses, because we want to ensure that we remain relevant, with the communities that we serve. So, and if we look in terms of Standard Bank South Africa, 85% of our procurement, it's from local and empowered businesses, and out of that, 46% it's really to support the SMMEs. So we're not just playing it lip service; we are voting with our feet in that regard.
Now, for those who might not be privy to what sort of services Standard Bank would require from local SMEs, what sort of things do you procure from people?
So if you look, we can talk from local based. It can start from cleaning services. It can start from paper, because we do use paper. It can start in terms of things like your tea, coffee, lights, repairs, and stuff like that. So we talk around the things that are relevant, to the local operations.
Now, in terms of the summit, there's the conference part of it, and then there's the expo. We're currently standing in an area which is highly branded by Standard Bank.
Yes.
Just tell us what's happening here where we are.
No, of course, here we are showcasing the support, what our clients have achieved, and we are endorsing, because we know that, if we don't help our clients grow, wouldn't be doing our bit as a corporate. So for us, it's to ensure that we showcase achievements by our clients, because we want our clients to grow. As our clients grow, they expand our economy as a country as well.
So when you did a dipstick to say we want to be part of headlining, sponsoring the Proudly South African Buy Local Summit, what drew you to this campaign specifically, and what are the objectives for you as a sponsor going forward?
So thanks Thanks, Penny. As I've indicated, we are saying we are, a very strong brand and a big corporate, and we are locally based. We are proudly South African. So it's just, to endorse by putting our weight behind proudly South African, because we want to ensure that we promote growth of local entrepreneurs. For them to see that big corporates are behind them. And as Standard Bank, we are a bank for all. We are a bank for small businesses. So we want small businesses to engage us, because if we don't, showcase our support, they might think we are not interested. We are not putting weight behind, supporting their growth aspirations. So we are saying what our SMM is next, and we want to be part of that, because we believe in partnership, we believe in relationship, where we want to understand the client's aspiration and then work with them to realize their aspirations.
And for somebody who hasn't been exposed to the summit, it's been going on for 7 years, if they come here today, what would you think are the things that they need to sort of like focus on and pay attention, and what will the output be for them?
So I suppose if you look at the summit holistically, it's really to give them exposures in terms of the support, because you'll see various stores that are available there, of which Standard Bank is one of them. So, from information, the summit is information rich, and it's part of, creating the networks as well. So you can come to the Standard Bank store, speak and engage with our teams on the ground, whether you're a Standard Bank or non-Standard Bank client. For us, it's more around having those conversations and starting to create the relationships and the networks that are critical in really, taking your business to the next level.
In terms of like small businesses and entrepreneurship for the country in turning things around for unemployment, what do you think are the things that we need to see happening?
So for us as Standard Bank, we believe in really nurturing and supporting our SMMEs, and we also believe that it's critical for us as large corporates to really open doors for those SMMEs, to really gain access to market. And as a bank, as I've alluded to, we work with our clients to ensure that we understand their business. We work with them and we walk the long journey with them, because as their partner, we want to ensure that they sustain their growth and really achieve their next. So it's important that they continue to engage with ourselves, because if we don't engage, we might miss some of the critical aspects. And for us, I suppose as big corporates, we are saying we are supporting SMMEs in terms of ensuring that pay them on time, because if we know that they don't have the financial muscles that to withstand any cash flow pressure. So we are there to say let's support them, and when they are having challenges on their cash flows, we want them to proactively engage us ahead of time, so that we can work a plan with them, because we win when we keep their doors open. We don't win when they close doors.
All right, we're going to have to leave it at that. Of course, that's Willie Chavalala talking to us, head of business and retail banking from Standard Bank South Africa. We're back to the studio in Hyde Park, and Mark is after something in the kitchen.